Last week, El Salvador's President Nayib Bukele posted a typically divisive video on Twitter. To the sound of thrilling fast-paced music, it showed hundreds of detainees being transferred to a new mega-prison, officially named the Center for Confining Terrorism. Constructed last year to host the Central American country's burgeoning prison population, it is the largest prison in the Americas, with capacity for 40,000 inmates. Welcome, beautiful people. It is the World YouTube channel. Today we will see about secret appeals to NS-13 leaders. El Salvador's endless state of emergency. We'll be see. If you like the video, hit the like button on this video, subscribe the channel and comment down below. The video, craftily edited with close-ups of inmates' tattoos, combined with nighttime drone shots of the jail, went viral in the region, and won praise from far-right commentators in the U.S., like Infowars' Harrison Smith and the Daily Wire's Michael Knowles. For many Salvadorian and foreign fans of the far-right president, the video represented the ultimate vindication of Bukele's iron-fisted approach to fighting crime and restoring pride in the country's armed forces. But for human rights activists and pro-democracy groups, the video underlined the risks facing El Salvador's democracy as state security takes priority over constitutional rights amid an indefinite state of emergency. And for the closest observers of Bukele's government, the timing of the released footage was most notable, coming 24 hours after a damning U.S. indictment detailed how El Salvador's government allegedly struck secret deals with infamous gang MS-13. Secret appeals to NS-13 leaders. In the indictment, unsealed February 23, U.S. attorneys accused members of Bukele's government of masking themselves in order to secretly enter prisons in the country and conduct secret talks with NS-13 gang leaders. The allegation, which also accuses the Salvadorian government of freeing an MS-13 gangster wanted for extradition by the United States, is contained in recently released court documents related to the trial of several MS-13 members in a New York district court. While it does not name the government representatives alleged to have negotiated with gang, the indictment paints a damning picture of favors, including shorter prison sentences and more comfortable prison conditions, granted by Bukele's government to one of the world's bloodiest criminal gangs in exchange for help fulfilling his campaign promise to reduce murders in the country. Bukele addresses the General Assembly at the United Nations on September 20, 2022 in New York City. In exchange, the MS-13 leaders agreed to reduce the number of public murders in El Salvador, which politically benefited the government of El Salvador by creating the perception that the government was reducing the murder rate, the indictment alleges. In fact, NS-13 leaders continued to authorize murders where the victims' bodies were buried or otherwise hidden, it adds. El Salvador's endless state of emergency. Bukele has cultivated a tough-on-crime image, imposing harsh policies on the rest of the population. In March last year, he suspended constitutional rights in the country, empowering Salvadoran security forces to jail citizens simply on suspicion of being part of a gang. Incarceration figures have consequently soared. By mid-2022, up to 2% of El Salvador's population 18 and older, or roughly 100,000 people, was in prison, according to an Amnesty International assessment based on local media reports. According to government figures, more than 60,000 people were sent to prison since the state of emergency was declared, over 150 people per day, causing alarm among human rights activists, who say the rationale for some arrests is insufficient. A group of detainees are moved to a new prison in El Salvador. The cases include people who were arbitrarily arrested because of their physical appearance, because they had a tattoo, because they were in a specific neighborhood, a specific time, HRW America's acting director, Tamara Tereshik, told CNN. There is no clarity or evidence that these people were actually committing a crime or implicated in this massive roundup. This poses a huge problem for public security. One of the highest concerns Tereshik shared is that many inmates enter in close contact with criminal groups as the result of their detentions, as prisoners are held together in communal cells, and that means that gangsters are presented with optimal conditions to recruit new members for the criminal syndicates. Other human rights organizations have criticized the lack of judicial guarantees for the inmates, and according to local NGO Cristosal, at least 80 inmates have died in unclear circumstances behind bars between March and October last year, as the state of emergency was implemented. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notification button for more videos.